In the suburbs of Philadelphia, where winding roads snake through ancient pine forests and luxurious villas hide behind towering iron fences, there stands a massive mansion, like an impregnable fortress. Gray granite walls, frosted glass windows that reflect sunlight without revealing any signs of life inside. The lawn is meticulously trimmed, not a single weed daring to sprout, and the main gate is always locked with a modern security system. People whisper that the owner of this place is a successful businessman, but few know the true life behind those walls. The man is Ethan Blackwood, 38 years old, chairman of Blackwood Tech, a billion-dollar software empire. Ethan has everything the world admires: overflowing wealth power that influences even politics, and a reputation as dazzling as a star in the business sky. He is tall, handsome, with jet black hair and sharp blue eyes, always appearing in impeccably tailored suits at international conferences. The press hails him as the young genius of Silicon Valley's East Coast version. But behind that perfect facade, Ethan carries an invisible pain as deep as an abyss. 4 years ago, his wife Sophia passed away forever in a tragic plane crash. She was a gentle woman with a warm smile and a voice like the wind whispering through fields. Sophia was the heart of the home, the one who turned this cold fortress into a warm nest. When she left, Ethan not only lost his wife but also a part of his soul. But the greatest pain belonged to their only son, Liam. At that time, Liam was just 3 years old, a boy with big brown eyes and golden hair just like his mother. The accident happened on a drizzly autumn afternoon. Ethan was at the office when he received the call from the police. He rushed home holding Liam tightly as the boy sobbed beside his mother's body being brought back. From then on, the child changed completely. Liam withdrew into himself, building an invisible wall between him and the world around him. He no longer smiled, no longer played, and didn't even talk to his father. Every day, Liam sat huddled in the corner of the playroom, a vast space filled with expensive toys, piled up, staring fixedly out the frosted window, as if waiting for his mother to suddenly walk in with her warm embrace. Ethan tried everything to save his son. He spent money like water, hiring professional nannies from England, inviting top psychologists from Harvard, even taking Liam to child therapy centers in New York. But no one lasted more than a few days. Liam rejected every approach. The boy sensed the falsehood in forced smiles and empty coaxing words. The first nanny quit because Liam threw toys at her face. The second psychologist cried and begged Ethan to let her go because the boy's silence was terrifying. "He's like a living statue," one expert whispered before leaving. Ethan grew more desperate. His work began to suffer, important meetings postponed, company stocks fluctuating, but he didn't care. All he wanted was to hear his son's laughter again. The house gradually became a living tomb. The housekeeping staff moved silently like ghosts, afraid to disturb the master. Dinner was just Ethan and Liam sitting across from each other at the long table, the boy bowing his head to eat a few bites before quietly leaving. Ethan tried to hug his son, but Liam pushed him away, ran to his room, and locked the door. Late at night, Ethan sat alone in his study, sipping whiskey, staring at the wedding photo of Sophia hanging on the wall. "What should I do, love?" he whispered to the empty air. Then one bitterly cold winter day, when snow fell thickly covering the suburbs, in white, a simple woman knocked on the mansion's door. Her name was Mia Reynolds, 29 years old, from a small town in Pennsylvania called Willow Creek. Mia had no prestigious degrees or experience working with wealthy children. She was just a local preschool teacher with long brown hair, tied in a ponytail, gentle green eyes, and a sincere smile. Mia wore an old knitted coat, carrying a simple cloth bag. She came through a recommendation from an old friend, the Blackwoods' longtime housekeeper. "I heard about little Liam," Mia said to Ethan through the iron gate. Her voice was soft, neither begging nor boasting. I don't promise to heal him. I just want to try being near him. Ethan looked at her through the security camera. He had rejected dozens of candidates before, but something about Mia made him hesitate. Perhaps it was desperation or her sincere eyes. Come in, he said through the intercom, opening the gate. Mia entered the house without bringing any professional tools. No therapy tablet, no psychology books. She just sat there in the corner of Liam's playroom a few meters away from the boy. On the first day, Liam didn't even glance at her. He sat staring out the window, clutching tightly an old teddy bear, the last gift from his mother. Mia said nothing. She just took a shiny red apple from her bag, cut it into small pieces, and placed it on the low table. Then she sat still, hands clasped, looking out the window with the boy. On the second day, Mia brought a dried maple leaf, vibrant red from the forest near her home. She placed it next to yesterday's apple, still untouched. Liam glanced over briefly, then turned away. Mia didn't push. She whispered stories not directed at the boy, but as if talking to herself. Today in Willow Creek, there was a little bunny that got lost. It hopped through the bushes looking for its mom. Ethan watched through the hidden camera. He found it strange. No one had ever been this patient. Previous experts always tried to interact immediately, asking questions, playing games. But Mia was just there like part of the space. By the third day, a small miracle happened. Liam slowly stood up, walked to the table. He picked up the maple leaf, twirling it in his hand. Then he put it down, but this time he pushed the apple toward Mia. No words, just a gesture. Mia smiled lightly without cheering or hugging. Thank you, she whispered. From then on, things began to change gradually. Mia came every day bringing small gifts from nature, a smooth river pebble, a sparrow feather, a small branch with a few green leaves. She never forced Liam to talk. Instead, she drew. Mia took paper and colored pencils from her bag, drawing simple pictures, a little house, a bunny, a smiling boy. Liam watched from afar, then one day he sat down next to her. Not touching, just looking. Mia pushed the pencil box toward him. Liam hesitated, then picked up a green crayon and drew a wobbly line on the paper. Ethan couldn't believe his eyes when reviewing the camera footage. His son was drawing for the first time in 4 years. He rushed into the room, but Mia shook her head lightly through the glass door. Don't rush, Mr. Blackwood. Let him lead. Time passed and Liam opened up more. He began to look into Mia's eyes, even if only for a few seconds. He drew with her pictures of his mother, a woman with golden hair hugging the boy. Mia didn't ask anything about them. She just praised, "So beautiful, Liam. You're such a good artist." The house began to come alive. Liam's light footsteps echoed on the wooden floor. Mia's whispers when telling stories. The housekeeping staff smiled when seeing the boy run through the hallway holding a drawing. Ethan tried to join, but he patiently waited. He sat in his study listening. One spring evening when a heavy rainstorm hit and the power suddenly went out, the house plunged into darkness. Ethan ran to find candles, but Mia was already there. She lit a small candle in the playroom, sitting quietly beside Liam. The boy trembled in fear of the dark, a fear from the day his mother died. Mia didn't hug him right away. She just sat closer, humming softly, an old folk song from Willow Creek. Liam looked at her, then, slowly, he leaned his shoulder against Mia. The first physical contact in 4 years. Ethan stood outside the door, hand over his mouth, tears streaming down. He didn't dare enter, afraid to ruin the moment. Over time, Liam began to speak. At first quietly, almost inaudible, water, when he wanted a drink. Then draw, when he wanted pencils. Mia patiently repeated, encouraging without forcing. One day, Liam ran to Ethan in the living room holding a drawing, a family of three: Dad, Mom, and the boy. "Daddy," he said, his voice tiny. Ethan knelt down, hugging his son without being pushed away. "My beloved son." Liam's laughter began to ring out, breaking the silence of the mansion. He played with Mia in the garden, even though the fence was still high. Now he ran and jumped on the lawn, chasing butterflies. Ethan joined playing ball with his son. The house filled with the smell of baked goods from the kitchen, Mia teaching Liam to make cookies. The staff organized small parties, the first in years. Mia was not a nanny or a psychologist in the strict sense. She was just there, slowly demanding nothing. She told stories about life in Willow Creek, the wheat fields, the small river, the children playing freely. Liam listened, and his eyes lighting up. Gradually, he opened up to his father. One evening, Liam walked over to Ethan, sitting on the sofa reading a book. He sat down beside him, then laid his head on his dad's lap. Ethan stroked his son's hair, whispering, "Daddy loves you, Liam. Mommy does too." Ethan realized his son had learned to trust again, to live again, to feel again. The pain of Sophia was still there, but now it was shared. Mia became part of the family, not as a helper, but as a friend, a sister. She stayed longer than planned, helping Liam through midnight nightmares. Summer arrived, and the mansion was no longer a cold fortress. Windows opened, breezes carrying the scent of flowers. Liam laughed loudly while playing with the puppy Ethan bought. Mia organized picnics in the garden with sandwiches and fruit juice. Ethan watched them, his heart full of gratitude. He offered Mia to stay forever, not with high pay, but as family. She agreed, smiling. "I just want to be near those who need it." Their story spread through the Philadelphia suburbs like a legend. People said the Blackwood Fortress was now the warmest place. Ethan returned to work with new energy, the company thriving. But most importantly, Liam had found the world again. The once withdrawn boy now ran, told stories, hugged his dad every night. Mia taught them that healing doesn't require grand miracles, just patience, sincere presence. Thanks to her, the boy opened the world once more, and the cold fortress overflowed with warmth, laughter, and life. What a wonderful story.